All right, I think I'm just going to get into my talk because I think the numbers are doing weird stuff. So, I think we're just going to get right into it and forget about the numbers, and I'm not even going to look at them. And we're going to do tonight, thank you, Lisa, hi. We're going to go from struggle to strength, the emotional side of the GLP journey. So, hello, warriors. How are you tonight? You know, I like to call you all warriors. We're all fighting a different journey. We are all succeeding in our journeys with each other. The dog left. So, tonight we're not just going to talk about numbers. We're not just going to talk about macros or side effects or what to do, what not to do. Tonight it's more about the heart. And I don't mean cardiovascular disease. It's more about the heart of the journey. The emotional side that not too many people really talk about. The crying in the car moments. The quiet victories. The identity shifts when the body changes faster than your mind can catch up. So tonight we're going from struggle to strength. The emotional side of the GLP journey. This one is about healing, not just shrinking. Hi, Erin. So if you've ever felt lost, if you've ever cried over food, if you've ever looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at you, stay. You're not broken. You're just rebuilding. So let's start by being real. This journey isn't just hard physically, it's emotionally exhausting. Everyone coming at you. You must feel amazing. Look at you. You're doing great. But they don't see our inner battles, our inner struggles, the brain fog, the body changes, the social shifts. Sometimes strength doesn't look like victory. It doesn't look like before and after pictures. Sometimes strength looks like showing up for yourself on the days you don't even recognize who you're becoming. Sometimes strength is crying while you're meal prepping. Sometimes it's saying no to a friend who just doesn't get it. And sometimes strength is just not giving up. So how about the emotional whiplash? Because that's what this journey feels like sometimes. One day you feel empowered and free. And the next day you're so angry that you even needed these meds, that you even needed help on this journey. Why couldn't you just do it? Nobody else has problems doing it. It's just you. Why couldn't you do it? You're so angry at yourself. Why do you need medication? Hi, Amy. You can love your progress and still grieve the old you. You can be proud of your choices and still feel lonely because your world around you hasn't caught up. This back and forth feeling is very normal. You're reprogramming your brain, your emotions, not just your appetite and your daily habits. You are literally rewriting decades of coping mechanisms. That's work. That's healing. Don't rush emotional peace. It catches up to your body when it's ready to catch up to your body. I'm sure a lot of you have felt that internal tug of war. One of the hardest parts of this journey is the identity shift. You've been one version of yourself for years, maybe decades. That would be me, decades. The body, the habits, the armor that you've built. Then you start changing, and your reflection doesn't match how your mind still sees you. You start getting attention you're not used to, or maybe people treat you differently, and it messes with your head. You might even sabotage progress because your brain feels safer in the old you. That's why emotional work is just as important as meal prep. You're not just losing weight. You're losing identities. You're losing stories. Sometimes you're losing relationships. But what's coming in is peace, health, self-trust. You are not who you were, but you are not yet who you are becoming. So who are you? That's the in-between. And that is sacred space. I know a lot of us have looked in the mirror and thought, who am I? You're not alone. A lot of us do that. I would say most of us do that. You're in the cocoon phase. The butterfly is still loading. So let's talk about grief. Because yes, there's grief in this journey. Grieving the comfort of food. Grieving the old routines. Even if they weren't healthy, you still grieve them. You might even grieve the version of you who didn't know. Because once you wake up to health, you can't go back to not knowing. You want that naivety. You grieve the old normal. That's real, that's true, and the grief is there. Here's what I've learned on my journey. You don't have to shame the old you. You can thank her. She got you through the storm with the tools that she had. Say this with me out loud. I honor the version of me that survived the struggle. You know, even if we didn't like her, some days we didn't love her, but we have to honor her. We have to honor the version of me that survived the struggle. And that is how healing starts. She did her best with the tools she had. So next, let's talk about trust. A lot of us come into this journey not trusting our bodies. We've dieted and failed, restarted, punished ourselves, and that breaks trust with our bodies. When GLP therapy starts helping, it's easy to feel like you finally have control, but deep down there's that fear. What if I gain it back? What if this is temporary? What if I don't know how to eat without this? My first closet clean, those bags of clothes sat in the corner for months Because in the back of my head, those mantras were going. What if I gain it back? What if this is temporary? What if I don't know how to eat? Exactly, Pris. The past she went through all of it. Melissa, excited to hear what you're talking about. Good, Melissa. Give me a follow. I'll follow you back as soon as this gets done. Join in. We're talking about the struggle tonight. And that's called fear of relapse. So we've talked about grief. Let's delve into this trust issue. Here's how you rebuild trust with your body. Listen to your body without judgment. Feed it with kindness, not rules. Rest without guilt. Move when it feels good, not when you have to. And forgive yourself for every DIET that did not work. It was the diet that failed, not you. They were lessons. Purely lessons. Great, Melissa. When you start doing that, the emotional noise gets quieter. And that's where your strength begins. I know I'm not the only one here that has felt scared to trust my body again. It's like you're learning a new language. Your body's language. And you have to be patient. I know you guys have listened to me time and time again when I say eat slowly and listen to your body. And that's the only way that I can describe it, is you are listening for a hunger cue. And it is amazing when you start to hear that hunger cue, that I'm full cue, the hunger cues, the I'm satiated. When you start hearing what your body is saying, it's amazing. And you just have to slow down and listen. So now let's go a little deeper. Your full cue is now the hiccups. My sister's is the hiccups. And that might be an overfull cue. There might be something right before that, Kaylee, because usually the hiccups come when you're overly full. So listen a little bit before that and see if there's anything before that. So now let's go a little deeper. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Tam. Into relationships. When you change, people react. Some celebrate, and some pull away. Some get weird about your food, about your habits, about your glow? Here's the truth. When you start healing, you will trigger people who aren't ready to heal themselves. Don't shrink to keep others comfortable. You can love people and still protect your peace. Set boundaries with kindness, not guilt. Okay. You're going to say lines like, I love you, but I'm making different choices right now. You can say, no, thank you, Aunt Linda, I am full. You can say, I don't owe anyone explanations for my health and my health care. You choose you. Boundaries are not walls. They're doors that open with the key, and the key is peace. You don't have to defend your healing. You know, I'm sure some of you have felt those awkward comments, the pressure at family meals, the friends that want you to have chips and salsa now. Let's go out for margs and chips and salsa. Let's go. I do, Tam. So now let's shift from the loss side of it to what do you gain? What exactly do you gain from your glow up? We are going from struggle to success. What do we gain emotionally from this journey? Confidence, energy, peace, quiet, and the ability to show up again. Not just for others, but for yourself. You show up and you show out. You are doing things that you never thought you'd be doing. You are wearing that bikini. You are wearing those shorts. You are riding the ride at the amusement park. You are doing all the things. You are clicking the seatbelt in the airplane. You are doing it all. Riley, no. You start reconnecting to joy. You start finding your laugh again without guilt. You start feeling alive again instead of just surviving. You are feeling alive. Can you feel that? Can you feel the health and the alive in your veins? That's the glow up that nobody can measure. Sitting cross-legged in a chair. Did you just see me? I crossed my legs, and not only did I cross them, but I tucked one way under and I was able to come up here. Never would I be able to do that before. Never. I love it. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't think, oh, this is going to hurt. How am I going to get out of this position? Nothing. Nothing. I love it. It is emotional strength. And the deeper truth, you were never broken. You were buried under survival. This journey simply unearthed you. You were always there. I know a lot of you have gained peace, confidence, calm. Those are all wins way beyond the scale. They're doing great, Deb. She's at dance right now, and he's on a walk with Mom. Let's end with reflection. Close your eyes for a minute. I want you to finish this sentence. I used to struggle with blank, but now I'm learning to blank. Exactly, Tam. You go to everything. You're a yes woman now. You know, before I was such a homebody. It was like, no, I don't want to go. I can't go. Because I didn't know if they'd have a chair that would hold me. I didn't want to stand the whole night. You know, I just didn't want to be put in that situation. Exactly. Used to struggle with going out, and now I'm saying yes to everything. Hi, Alpha. Those are my favorite warrior pictures right there, Tam. We are warriors. Say it softly. Breathe in, and that's your proof of growth right there. I used to struggle with hating my body, but now I've learned to respect my body. So warriors, hear me. This journey is not about becoming smaller. It's about becoming whole. You're not weak for needing help, for needing medication for your broken anatomy. You're wise for accepting the help. Accepting the help. That is what makes you wise. You're not less because you struggle. You are more because you fight through. Tonight we took the emotional side, the messy, beautiful, unseen part, and we brought it into the light. Hi, Chrissy. And that's strength right there. From struggle to strength. That is your story, your journey. And just remember that. You are a warrior. You are on your own journey, and everyone's journey is their own. Remember to always lead with love. Your smile might be the only smile someone gets that day. I love you all.